what I call the DNA formula, which is very simple, the dynamic natural artist. We are defined by what inspires us. That is what defines an artist, not what you think you are, what people say you are. What inspires you becomes your DNA, and that's what translates into what you do. So, my greatest inspiration is Chris Voss. If anyone has ever heard of him, if not, Google him. I can't tell you much about him in this forum. I'm a fan of Star Wars, Finding Nemo, and Lord of the Rings, particularly those movies. For very good reasons, yeah? Again, of which is a lengthy discussion as to why each movie is a particular inspiration to me. My favorite series is House. I've had a lot of other series before that, but I'm kind of I was told not to use vulgar language, so I'm kind of I'm a movie, I'm a series. Like I'm from Coast also. So yeah, most inspiring artist is George Odero. Never heard of him, I know. He's the guy who taught me out. He grew up with my brothers. He passed away, unfortunately, and he was a great artist. He was amazing. And he drew Marvel comics. Just amazing stuff. So he was quite amazing. My favorite band is UB40. Already tells you the kind of person I am, laid back, chill. Favorite music, radio. I don't do ganja, but I said that. Tools, Pencil, PC, and the Wacom. Favorite director is Steven Spielberg. I forgot to mention also George Lucas is one of my favorite, but also because of his determination making Star Wars happen. Favorite visual effects studio, Weather Digital, and ILM. I think ILM because they've done so much, but they're really good. They keep outdoing themselves. Favorite animation studio, Pixar and DreamWorks. Favorite web designers, toadvance.com. If anybody's done web design since 2001, they would know webdesign.com. I was inspired also by a guy called Fadi Roston, who I kind of met when I was first beginning to wonder what I would do with my life. So, what is it that I do? I do stuff like this. I've done concept art for District 9. Surprisingly, yes. Kenyan CTL, doing films that are out there. Basically, what I want to try and tell you guys, we should not forget being artists. The moment we start making money, we start to think that the only time I will do my art is when I'm getting something in return for it. That's the wrong attitude. That's why I'm showing you stuff that I never got paid for. Stuff that I do for myself. Now this is the thing I would kind of like encourage artists, is that never forget you as an artist. You go to the advertising industry, design industry, don't forget you're an artist first. And basically I have what we call process sheets to explain my work to you. It starts off as a simple idea, rendered in 3D. Later on I put in lights and stuff. I'll add in effects, the same way you do film. I took some shots in Seychelles, which I actually cut out and put there as the plants. So I also do some kind of photography, but not in a major way. And that's the final product. I'm just trying to show you guys that when you see stuff like this on film, when you see artists doing stuff like, don't go like, that's easy. He didn't do much. It took me 2 weeks. There you say anything. Okay? Now some pieces using similar workflow. All these pieces basically drove through the same process. They're all digital paintings. And I've worked through a lot of sci-fi stuff, as you can see. Pin-up art, which I'll show you later. I am a fan of girls in heels. Don't blame me. The man in me just won't let me go further than that. So these are all digital paintings. Some of them took weeks, some of them took months, some of them I can't even explain. Now here's a different workflow. We as artists, we sit down, we do a lot of these sketches, and we pile them up, and we sit with them. I've kept sketches since 2001. I recently started painting them. And that's how a sketch transforms into a digital painting. You scan your sketch, you start with the base lighting, you start with your atmosphere effects, you start playing around with more lighting, more visual effects, bring in some texture, put in some more visual effects. I'm getting tired of the visual effects thing, but eventually you have a final product. Photoshop is not for retouching only, okay? So paint with it. Similar workflow. Artwork that was done for the Pitch Black, yeah? And design concepts for the creatures. Down basically werewolf stuff, that was being done for a fairy tale story that was based on a family of werewolves. Some more visual effects stuff, and painting. That was a game. Somebody saw this piece of art on CG Society, and they called me from Australia. And they told me, we like your piece of art, we'd like to buy it for a game. They bought it. I never saw the game, but they bought it. So anyway, similarly, yeah, we have artists here in Kenya who are doing a lot of this stuff, not just me. Now, these are just pieces of other stuff I do, digital environments. Yeah, I sit down, I paint a lot of environments, combining 3D photography and digital painting. So none of these things actually work alone. You have to work with all of them to come up with something that's kind of groovy, so to speak. I forgot to put Austin Powers there. Nonetheless, pin-up art and virtual photography. Now, basically there are programs like DAZ 3D, which is free, yeah? No, I use free software, except for Photoshop. Anyway, free software to come up with a lot of my stuff, yeah? So, essentially, this is my pin-up art. Sorry for the nudity for whoever's like, you know, does not appreciate uniforms. But nonetheless, that's the kind of stuff I do that basically drives me every day to remember I'm an artist first. And it's my passion. Once again, yeah, so inspired by different movies, Tron, you can see stuff that's inspired by Tron, stuff that's inspired by X-Men, stuff that's inspired by other movies, Elementals, and classic films, yeah, black and white featured stuff. Yeah, pencil and sketchwork and concept art, ranging from 2001, coming down, I picked a few pieces here and there, and tried to bring in a kind of sense of a story, basically. I love robots, I love artificial intelligence, but yeah. I love stuff that just comes to my mind. I just start drawing and that's it. I take it and I preserve it. That's what I'd encourage any artist to do. And yeah, so there we are. I'm not a dark guy, so don't get creeped out. This stuff. It's not really creepy. It's basically stuff that captures your imagination. And that's me in a nutshell. The last thing I would say is just, I learned something recently from a guy from India. And he came up and told me, there are no mistakes in creativity, only evolution of the idea. So never think I've made a mistake. Yeah, that mistake of yours, not a mistake. The other thing I think I'd encourage guys to do is that basically, the time you know you're good is the time you can reject your own work and thrash it without thinking twice. That's the two things I'd like guys to remember, I guess.